We've talked about a rare earth mineral ETF, REMX, REMX. It's gone up because apparently, and again, I felt like that was what they were going to do. They're going to start stockpiling rare earth minerals because they're very competitive with China. So anyway, let's keep going. So I go on, and I can do this, right? Clown economics, buying a $90,000 chain while your rent is late. So no more clown economics. We're getting rid of that. And then here, oh, this was me just, I was just being silly. That breaking Bitcoin's price plummets when it's revealed that Bitcoin was in the Epstein files. So there's Bitcoin like partying with all those women. He needs to stop. He needs to get off those Epstein files and stop partying so much and get his price up. See, that's why price is dropping because you're slipping Bitcoin. All right. So anyway, so I did this. So Oklo, oh, I showed this right. Oklo stock has been declining. You guys know that Oklo has been a big riser. We started buying it when it was like $10 a share. So a lot of you have made a lot of money from Oklo, but this is a dip, and this is actually part of that wash effect. I mean, I told you that basically the stocks like Oklo are the ones that get hit the hardest when there is a belief that the Federal Reserve is going to increase interest rates because these are what you call long duration securities. Long duration securities are companies like this that don't make a lot of money. Most of their valuation is almost hypothetical or theoretical. It's not real. They're not really making money at a high level, and so when interest rates go up, mathematically speaking, because of the mathematical models that are used to define a stock price, it ends up crashing these stocks first. So just know that when you buy a stock like this, you're going to get this chaos and volatility. So you really have to have a firm belief in your long-term thesis to hold on to a stock like this. If you're not ready to just hold on to it and buy the dip and stay with it, then don't even start because it's going to drive you crazy. All right. So anyway, when I get to this one, right? Look at this. When I hit the next button, I try to go to the next slide. It doesn't work. Look, this is the one I wanted to show you. Look at that. Look, I see how I'm clicking. But look, if I click on this, it opens up. Y'all see that? But if I click on this one, it doesn't. Isn't that interesting? Again, I'm not being a conspiracy theorist, but here's what it says. Let me tell you what it says, and I'll tell you my conspiracy why it's kind of freaking me out. Is I literally said voting doesn't increase black wealth, investing does. And some people get mad at me when I say that because they think that I'm telling people not to vote. I'm not telling people not to vote. I'm just telling you that voting might make you feel better. Voting might actually have an impact on the election for sure. Voting can certainly connect you to American politics, but there's no evidence whatsoever that voting has ever increased black wealth. So if your goal is to build wealth, if your goal is to develop your communities, if your goal is to get freedom from oppressive slavery, whether it's capitalism or just white supremacy or whatever boogeyman haunts you in the night, having more wealth in your pocket will change that. If you give me a choice between seriously, what do you all think? If you had a choice between being a rich black man and a poor white man in America, which would you rather be? Would you rather be a poor white man, or would you that has to work a job that he hates, that doesn't have any money in the bank, that has financial insecurity, or would you rather be a wealthy black man or black woman where you've got plenty of financial insecurity and your family's doing well? You're not feeling economic stress. Which would you prefer? What do y'all think? Answer me in the chat. Which do you think will be better? Right? And again, I'm not sitting here saying that racism doesn't exist. I mean, sure, if you have a choice between being a poor black man and a poor white man, then yeah, obviously there's an advantage there. Whiteness has an advantage. But what wealth really does, honestly, when you are an investor, wealth kind of overrides a lot of stuff. I think the great Ozzie Davis, the actor who's married to Ruby Dee, he said it on Arsenio 30 years ago, and I didn't understand it at the time, but I paid attention. He said America can forgive you for being black, but it'll never forgive you for being poor. And that really, I don't know exactly what he meant with that, but the way I took it was, one, it does say that money kind of drives everything, unfortunately. And but two, it seemed to me it sounded like an exit plan. It sounded like it's like, okay, so this is a solution. If I get some money, then a lot of my problems will go away. Not every problem. Money does not remove every problem. You have to have financial consciousness with the money that you have. But just like when you get a car, you have to know how to drive a car. So when you get wealth, you got to know how to drive your wealth. You have to be conscious about it. If you get a car, you must be conscious. If you drive a car and you're not conscious, if you're drunk or if you're high or if you're distracted, then you're going to be a very bad driver. You're going to crash that car, right? So same thing as with wealth. When you get the wealth, you get the financial consciousness to go with the wealth. I think you have a really purpose-driven life at that point. I think that you have a meaningful life that has a lot of freedom that a lot of people don't get, and it's not as if these things are not accessible, right?